Hello and welcome back to Death for All. We're going to be entering a rather large battle almost immediately here because we do want to level up our skills. Yeah, and we also have a bunch of vassals with us here. Obviously, that's not always a good idea because, you know, going into a battle with them, they're more than likely going to get themselves killed, and then as a result, we'll have even less combat strength going forward in the campaign. But well, yes, that's just how things are now. Anyway, we are hopefully going to be able to see a couple of births coming up soon, because I've actually been attempting to leave my child, Bruce, along with his spouse, in the nearby town. I obviously did that at the end of the previous episode. If you missed it, then, well, that's what happened. And, well, I left them in there for a few days. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to go and put them in a friendly town because I was a bit worried that what would happen is that they would maybe declare war. Someone would declare war against the Aserai, and then they would immediately get themselves taken prisoner, and obviously that's not something that we really want, is it? No. So I'm kind of hoping at this point that I'll be able to get to a friendly town. I basically just stopped off here very, very quickly to participate in this battle, because it kind of makes sense, right? And yeah, apart from that, it obviously gives us an opportunity to test out my wonderful polearm, because this is a fantastic polearm. As I've said before, I actually really like this one. I think it might be my favorite. It literally might be my favorite polearm in the entire game. Which is really funny, actually, because obviously there are better ones for mounted combat, for sure. There are, of course, much better ones in regards to reach and maybe even damage as well. But from what I have found, anything other than this, if it's a slashing polearm, it either does so much damage that there's really no point in it, because, let's face it, you only need about 100 damage to be able to eliminate most opponents, right? Because most people have 100 HP. You know, most of them. And that's obviously notwithstanding some of the higher tier units, because obviously higher tier units are going to have higher HP, and they're going to have higher armor values, and so on. So taking that into account, you got to think to yourself, well, do you really need all that damage? You know, you don't really need all that damage. You don't need to do 300 damage to an opponent. That's the point. You really don't. So that's the reason why many times I think to myself, well, it's good to have a polearm that has decent reach, obviously. It's really, really good to have that, because that means that you're going to be much safer when engaging in mounted to infantry combat and mounted to mounted combat and so on. But it's not really necessary for a damage perspective, you see. So that's the thing. That's the reason why I really love this one, because the speed of it is great. The reach is just enough to be really, really useful and not terrible so that you can't use it in a close quarters situation. And look at this. We've got people dying right there. Tristania and Ulbos have both died on the battlefield, which is actually perfect because they are enemy vassals, of course. They are enemy vassals, so I'm very, very pleased about that. As you can see, I have Bruce and Rustica in here. I'm going to be taking them very, very quickly after this over into Aserai territory. As I said before, we're going to put them in a safe-ish environment because, as I said, I don't really want a situation occurring where we have them in, I don't know, Khuzait territory, as you could see, because Hussein Fulk is currently owned by the Khuzait, which is a bit weird. Not sure what happened there, but it seems like the Aserai and the Khuzait did battle there, or the Khuzait declared war against the Southern Empire and they took it back, or something along those lines. I don't know what happened with it, but whatever the case, they own it, so it's going to be a good idea for me to head back to safe-ish territory, place them in there, and then we're going to have a wonderful time. Or at least we should have a wonderful time. There is a tournament going on here. Tug of the Roaming Horse. Increases mount movement speed by 5%. Alright, okay. That's actually not even bad. That's pretty good. But yeah, actually, amusingly enough, I did do the tournament in the town that we were in beforehand, and I was on an absolute tear for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what even happened there, but I was able to basically almost one or two shot most of the enemy units that we were facing in that particular engagement. And obviously, it's just a tournament. Yeah, you know, I get it. It's just a tournament. But for some reason, I was extremely effective. Not sure what even happened there. I don't know. Because it felt to me like the AI was just not blocking. I felt like I was very effective in almost every single attack I made. Whereas this time around, as you can see, that is not happening. What a classic. What a classic. Oh, well. Never mind. Maybe we can actually do something here. Okay, I'm going to get out my thrown weapon. Hopefully this is going to do something. Nice. Okay, 34 damage. Can I get a little bit more than that? 43 damage. Is he dead? Yes, he is. Thank you very much. Okay, 100% accuracy with the thrown weapon right now. Not bad. Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay. For some reason, seems like this is my game right now. Yeah, the thrown weapons are my game in this particular tournament. Okay, let's try and make the polearm my weapon here. Okay, apparently not. A little bit ineffective. Yes, it's going to be one of these, isn't it? Going to be one of these. Oh, no, maybe not, maybe not. That was some nice damage there. I remember way back when I used to play Warband, and whenever I would go into a tournament, or, well, generally any situation, I would curse the day when I would have a spear, or when I'd have a polearm. And I remember very vividly playing Brittenwalder, which is obviously the total conversion mod. I made, I think it was, I don't know, 140 episodes on it, just in Brittenwalder itself, in that one series. I think it was 140, 137 or something like that, I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, point is, they reworked the spear combat, as far as I remember. They reworked it, and it was so much better in that mod. Pretty crazy in comparison to native, but I was still terrible. That's the point, I was still terrible at it, but for some reason in Bannerlord, it feels much better. I don't know. I feel like I have gotten into the groove of things, you know, just getting a little bit better in that particular weapon type, and especially the thrusting, because I've said multiple times that the thrusting of a spear, very difficult to utilize for me for some reason. Don't know why that is, but that just seems to be how it is. Okay, now, Bruce is actually kind of a beast, so I am now in a situation where I have to face... Oh, okay, never mind. I was going to say, well, we have to face someone that's actually going to be pretty difficult for us to win against. But no. He seemed to be pretty simple there for some reason. Not sure what's going on with that, but all right. I mean, he has great skills. That's the funny thing. He has amazing skills, and that's the reason why I'm always surprised when he goes down so easily. But maybe he just wants to let his old man win. You know? Maybe he's just like, hey, Pelisaur, you know. He calls him by his first name, obviously. Because it's weird like that. Anyway, but yeah, he's like, oh, hey, Pelisaur, you know, that was a really good fight there. I beat you in almost every single skill, but good work. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, there's 410 in Hubyar here, so I think this is a pretty decent place to put them in the settlement. And someone actually said that I should probably wait for some time in a town as well, because as far as I am aware, or at least this is their words, they said that the only way that our wife became pregnant was by us waiting in a town, and then very shortly after moving away from that town, and that was the reason why she became pregnant at that time, rather than us being able to conceive while on the road. And I'm not sure if I remember that correctly or not, but I thought that she actually conceived while we were on the road itself, and we hadn't actually been to a town in quite some time. So I could be wrong about this, obviously. I may not have actually remembered the detail in that regard, but I don't know. So I'm giving it a go here, you know, I'm giving it a go by waiting. I did wait, as I said before, I did wait in the town for a little bit of time, and you know, a few days, actually, a few in-game days I waited, and I thought to myself, oh, okay, well, there doesn't seem to be anything happening here, so I'm not sure what to really make of it. So, you know, I kind of don't want to stay in one place for too long, because that's terrible, you know. Staying stagnant and static is not a very good way to be, especially when you need to earn money, you need to gain influence, renown, and all that wonderful stuff, and, well, staying still is not going to do any of those things, unfortunately. So, gonna have to maybe just see what happens. Maybe I'm gonna have to do that off screen or something and just wait for an extended period of time and just try it out. And it could very well be that maybe our spouse only has one in her. You know, maybe she just decides, hey, you know what? That's all we're gonna do. You know what I mean? Maybe she just that's all she wants, and that would be perfectly fine. That's up to her, obviously. But that's obviously bad for me because I need as many lives as possible. Because technically, from a gameplay perspective, that is how it is. You know, they are extra lives technically for the player character, or for the player, shall we say. And yeah, we might have some issues if everyone starts dying, you know what I mean? So that is a bit of an issue from my side. But as I say, if she doesn't want any more, then that's absolutely fine. However, that, as I say, might be a bit of an issue. That's why I'm kind of hoping that maybe Bruce will have some children. Maybe, you know, that would be kind of useful as well, because if the worst were to happen and we were to lose Bruce, not Bruce, and we were to lose Palasaur and then lose our spouse and then lose Bruce and then lose his spouse, then yeah, it would actually be all right. You know what I mean? That would be fine, because then we would still have a child that could potentially grow up before all of them died. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm hoping for here. Oh, rebels have risen against their lord. Oh, very nice. Okay, I like seeing that. Thank you very much. Okay, well, whatever the case, I am going to be accepting this peace agreement from the Southern Empire. I mean, this makes all the sense in the world, of course. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really make all the sense in the world, because we are winning this, and we could theoretically gain much more territory. But they are willing to pay a very large tribute. This is actually one of the largest tributes we've seen in a long time, so might as well just go for it. And we're going to be... yeah, we actually have 10 of their prisoners. Yeah, that's also the reason why they wanted to make peace, of course. They wanted to make sure that they didn't have too many people in our prisons and everything. And that is making everything much, much easier for us in the long run as well. Although, funnily enough, that maybe doesn't make things easier, because from a, well, death standpoint, we would actually find it easier if they were continuing to run around the world map. And we could, you know, do battle with them, and then we could murder them, and so on. But yes, unfortunately, that means there's no more war to participate in. Oh, there's our first clan. Look at this. There's our first clan that has been eliminated. That means every single one of these lords from this clan has been killed in battle. Pendrake. No. Wait a minute. Is it Fen? Pen? Yeah, there we go. There it is. All right. So this is the first clan to fall as a result of the Death for All mod. Every single one of them has been eliminated, and of course the children can no longer be taken care of, and so they just basically disappear from the map. I mean, obviously from a realistic standpoint, that wouldn't be the case. I don't think. It would probably be the case that the faction, the kingdom themselves, would, you know, pass the children on to another clan, and then they would be adopted into that clan, and, you know, so on and so forth. You know, they would just take care of their young. That's basically what would happen here. So yeah, that is obviously unrealistic. However, there you go. That's our first clan being eliminated. That's actually really cool to see. And I'm probably going to be taking public speaker here, even though we have actually found out in the past from very brief testing or very brief looks at it from my perspective, that we're not actually gaining the additional renown from battles that this provides, surprisingly enough. Because you may think, oh yeah, 30% increased renown gain from battles, that's amazing, right? Yeah, it is actually amazing. However, the problem is, I don't think it stacks with Famous Commander. That's the problem here. Because Famous Commander gives you plus 50%, and then this gives you plus 30%. I am the party leader. I mean, obviously, I'm the party leader, right? And this is, once again, this. So, technically, we should be gaining 80% increased renown gain. But as far as I can tell, when we actually do battles, that is actually not what we get. Which is weird. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if that is intended, but I would very much hope that it's a bug and that they're going to fix it sometime soon. Because losing out on 30% renown, considering that that perk in its entirety is basically the only reason why you take it. You know, you'd only take it for that particular reason. Anyway, we're going to go in here. One more tournament. I think I might have the ability to maybe take CALADOG over, or maybe overtake him. That would be pretty cool if we could actually do that. Okay, let's just kill this guy real fast. There we go. Nice. Try to be a little bit wily here. Dance and dance and dance. And there we go. He's dead. And now we can hopefully eliminate this archer as well. Yes, there we go. I want to do a jump and slash against that cavalry person, if at all possible. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Not good enough, though. The damage was not good enough. That is the most hilarious sight I've ever seen. Well, not really ever, but it's one of the funniest sights that I've seen. Two guys literally having a polearm standing, you know, at the furthest reach that they can from each other and just trying to do damage with little pokey action. I think that's hilarious. Because it's always extremely ineffective, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, it's like death of, I mean, it's not really death of 1,000 cuts, really, but it's death of 1,000 pokes, more like, right? You know? It's just very silly to see that. It kind of feels like the Benny Hill theme music should just come in at some point and just basically be like da 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 da. Yeah, I'm not going to get copyrighted for that, am I? Am I? No, surely not, right? No, it's not that accurate, my rendition of it. Yeah. Anyway, the fact is, that is hilarious, and in my opinion, that's one of the main reasons why I absolutely loathed polearms from Warband as well. Obviously, harking back to my little comments about oh, okay. Oh no, okay, yeah. Anyway, yeah, harking back to my comments about polearms and how I'm actually not doing too badly with them right now. Okay, please, can you please win? No, dodge. No, are you serious, you imbecile? Ah, why do I even, oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe that. You see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I literally get killed by someone just because they couch lanced. And it's just like, yeah, yeah, should have seen that coming, shouldn't I? Yeah, I should have definitely seen that coming. Well, never mind. Okay, maybe we'll get another one. Oh, there is another one over here. Okay, well, actually, you know what I'm going to do? After this tournament, we're going to take a look at the diplomacy screen, because what I would like to do is I'd like to figure out if there is a faction that we could potentially do battle against that might be so easy for us to win against that we might just be able to expand our territory super fast, get some nice renown rewards for it and everything. I've got to be a bit careful about these guys, so I'm going to try and use their body to defend myself. Oh, well, okay, well, that's not good. Okay, there we go. Did you see what? Did you see my strategy right there? You see my strategy? I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, if you know that strategy, then props to you, because that's great. And maybe you've seen it from me. Maybe you've done it yourself. But basically, what I try to do is I try to position the ally force's body in between mine and his. And so the other fellow, when in a 2 versus 1 situation, he cannot get into melee range, or he can't get into a range where he can actually do anything, because his blade or his weapon is just clanking against the enemy, well, the ally in his case, the allied guy's armor. And that's it. That's exactly what's happening. So in other words, I only have to fight one guy, but I have to be super careful with that. The spacing is a little bit weird sometimes as well, and it depends very much on the athletic skill of the enemy as well, because if they have significant athletic skill, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to create that spacing that is required to win. So that's obviously the big linchpin there, because it can go very badly if you get unlucky in that regard. You know, maybe you're up against 2 Imperial Legionaries or elite Manavliatons or something along those lines, And those guys, they mean business. Oh, that was a nice sidestep. Yeah, that's also something that you can potentially do too. If you have an opponent that is favoring overheads, you can actually sidestep it, and then you get an opening as well. So you don't necessarily need to block them. You just have to sidestep it and then follow up with a nice backslash or something along those lines. Anyway, we're going to go into the leaderboard here. As you can see, CALADOG actually won one tournament. I saw him win the tournament very briefly recently. And yeah, that's annoying. He's grinding my gears with that. Oh, yes, he is. Anyway, let's take a look at the diplomacy screen. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, we're going to have to attack the Khuzait, in my opinion. I think we should attack the Khuzait. They seem... yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The Vlandians are the most powerful right now, which is really weird. Not sure how that's happening, but yeah, they are. And the Khuzait are the closest to us. Oh, look at this. Aha! There is 100% support for declaring war against the Khuzait, but I do not have enough influence. Oh, well, that's sad. Okay, wait a minute. Bringing a peace offer? Oh, no, what? Are you serious? Peace offering? Make peace with the... Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. Am I discovering a new bug? Yes, I am discovering a new bug. This decision, yes, I bet it isn't relevant anymore. Thank you very much. I'm not sure why we even had that come up. We already made peace with them. That's very weird. All right, well, whatever the case, we are now going to be heading on over to Khuzait territory, because you know what I'm going to do. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm going to do. I'm going to attack one of the Khuzait vassals and force war. That is exactly what we're going to do. All right, so let's just have a quick look here. 10%. Ooh, that might be pretty good. 10% of the total experience gained as a bonus to infantry after battles. Yes, that sounds like a great plan to me. And let's make our way over... I actually don't know. I would like to possibly take this castle back. That would be a pretty decent place to start recapturing territory, but the problem with doing that is that if you start with such a weak fief, it's not really going to shock the enemy into anything much. They're just going to be like, oh, that castle, it's not really that useful. You may have it for a grand total of 5 seconds, and then we will take it back with an army of over 2 million, because that's generally what tends to happen quite often. Anyway, so these guys, they're literally... just rebels. I'm not sure where the Khuzait are. Ah, there we go. Rustica is now with child. Fantastic. Okay, that's great. We're going to basically just leave them where they are for the moment, because it's going to take quite some time for, you know, anything to happen in that regard. And it would be nice if we could just, you know, just leave them alone for a bit. Make sure they don't die, you know. Make sure they don't die. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Anyway, let me see here. Do they have any... Oh, they don't even need war mounts? Oh, what's going on there? This is the Khuzait land. You're supposed to have war mounts. Oh, well. Never mind. All right. Well, anyway. We're going to find a vassal very soon, and then we will be hopefully attacking them. Ooh, this is a really weak town as well. Might want to do something with that. That sounds pretty good. This is weak too. They've only got 314. What's going on with them? This is very strange. Huh. Okay. Let me just have a quick look-see in here. Noble mounts. Ooh, they've got a lot. Look at this. They've got a lot of these. Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. Going to sell all of this. Might as well sell all of this. Sell all of this. And there we go. We got 9,000. All right, so that's really good, and we can now level up more cavalry when that happens. We have 62 cavalry at the moment. I'm actually wondering how well we're doing in terms of our noble units. Not very good. Are you serious right now? Oh, no, wait. There's our noble units. We've got 17 of these guys. They're obviously the best that we can get. Okay, well, I'm going to do battle against this guy. I'm going to do battle against this guy, and yeah, here we go. Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I actually really do not like that. I personally feel like that should be not possible. I don't know. I feel like it should be possible for you to be declaring war against anyone that you want, and it doesn't matter what happens. You know, you should basically be able to just do whatever you want in this game. Because, let's face it, it's a faction war, you know, faction versus faction war simulator RPG sort of thing. And so, in my opinion, you should be able to do whatever you want. You shouldn't have to do this. Like, for example, let's say, I want everything. Give me all your wares. You're my prisoner now. Give me all your wares. And there you go. All right, so we've now reduced our relation with this guy. Are we still... Wait a minute. Are you serious right now? Okay, now that's very funny. Right. Okay. That's also something that you've got to think about. That is really, really weird. I would not have expected that to happen in a million years, but it did. Okay, so let's try something a little bit different this time around then. Okay, so attack. There we go. Okay, so we're going to have to attack them. Fighting them will cause a war with the Crusade. Okay, so now this is what I'm talking about here. When you want to cause war, it feels weird to have to attack villagers before you can attack vassals. I feel as though you should be able to enter into a battle with anyone in the entire game that you want. And there should just be repercussions to that effect. So, for example, let's say that you attack a vassal, you're going to lose honor, you're going to gain a trait maybe that says that you're a dishonorable fellow or whatever, you know, something along those lines. And that's it. That's fine. But I don't know. I don't feel particularly good about having to attack villagers because it actually gives me really bad vibes. I mean, look at this right now. Oh, I did. Okay. Well, the text log disappeared already. But yeah, you could see here. Look at this. Pelisor has lost his merciful trait. And that's the funny thing. I wouldn't have lost this. I wouldn't have lost this trait. I wouldn't have lost all of this influence because... lo and behold, I would have just attacked this vassal in honorable combat, and I wouldn't have had to prey upon defenseless villagers. Because for me personally, I actually don't like attacking villagers. I mean, it's just a means to an end for me at this point. But I would prefer to just attack the enemy vassal, because they've got the thing that we want. They have the renown gain, they have the influence gain, they have the money, experience, everything is going to be gained from attacking them. However, I'm not going to gain anything from attacking the villagers with the exception of just being able to declare war. And you've seen how much influence I have now, right? You've seen how much I have. I have literal, what, minus 300 or something like that now? And that is all thanks to the really weird decision that the developers made with that. I don't know why that is a thing. Because a dishonorable vassal, let's just say that I am an absolute scoundrel, okay? Let's say that my character is an absolute scoundrel. I'm role-playing some kind of, you know, dishonorable criminal archetype of a vassal, and I don't care about the law and I don't care about honor in any way, shape, or form, and I'm just wanting to kill as many things as possible, raid as many villages as possible, and prey upon anything that is weaker than myself, right? Let's say that I want to do all of that stuff. I'm not really going to care about my influence. I'm not really going to care about any of this stuff. But that's the thing. What if you are an honorable vassal and you actually want to declare war against someone? How is a good way to get influence? Well, you can obviously just wait. You can just wait for the influence to, you know, to roll in. You can wait for peace agreement. Well, not peace agreements. You can wait for war declarations. You can wait for all of that stuff. And then, okay. Then you're going to be able to participate. You know, it's going to be fine. However, I still feel like that is... It's just like, why? You know? Because... I don't know. I don't think an honorable vassal should have to do something like this. I mean, obviously you can wait. You know, that's obviously an option. You can definitely wait. But for me personally, obviously that's not gonna do, because I don't want to wait. I want to go into a war situation now. While peace might be good in general, I'd like to get into some battles. I want to get into some battles. I want to level up my forces. I want to have some fun in some larger scale battles and everything. And hopefully eliminate some more enemy vassals too, and actually see them die. So yeah, that's obviously what you want to do. But yeah, as I say, I'm not sure if I don't know. I'm sure someone else is going to have a pretty good argument as to counter it, as to counter my thought process there. And by all means, let me know. By all means. But I just don't think I should. I mean, yeah, sure, okay, fine. I don't really care about having a minus influence or anything like that. I mean, that's absolutely fine. But I think I should be able to just attack the vassal, have I don't know, maybe lose the trait, but not lose any influence. I don't know, just have something else be afflicting that decision, rather than giving me huge amounts of influence deficit and so on, because I kind of feel like that is a bit, I don't know, it just feels a bit meh. it just bad feels, that's what's going on right there. But anyway, as you can see, we have minus 287. Yes, minus 287. Because we are a criminal, basically. Yes, we are a criminal within the Crusade lands. Because we attack some villagers. Yes, that is it. Because we attack some villagers. Which is perfectly understandable, because I would definitely understand if, an enemy vassal actually attacked some villagers. Yeah, of course, they should be branded a criminal for attacking defenseless people. However, I still feel like that shouldn't even be the case. You should have the choice, because that was, in my opinion at least, that was one of the core values of Warband as well. But even then, there are things that you can't do until you have attacked villagers or until you have engaged with villagers. For example, the strategy that a lot of people use if you want to gain a significant strength at the very beginning of your playthrough, you can literally just go into a conversation with some villagers. You can tell them, I'm going to steal all your stuff. And then they go, oh no, please don't steal all our stuff. And then you lose relation with them. You lose like 3 relation with the kingdom that they're, that they're a part of. And then you can raid any of the villagers nearby, and you can get some very quick cash. That's the main strategy there. But in this game, obviously, it's a little bit different, where if you go into, talk with people, it just reduces the relation of the individual notables in that village itself. So, in essence, it's not really doing anything, because it doesn't actually reduce your overall relation with the faction itself. So you're going to need to attack the villagers instead of just threatening them. And attacking them, obviously, as you can quite clearly tell, does bad things to your influence. That is for sure. Anyway, I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.